Thanks so much, Yvette. There are new damning reports that are blaming sugary soft drinks for the obesity crisis. 3 new studies have reaffirmed the link between the high-calorie drinks and the growing waistline. Spoiler alert there. It comes as New York City Mayor Bloomberg banned supersized soft drink cups in a bid to cut obesity rates. So, Yvette Vignando and Dannielle Miller, soft drinks are so easily available. How can parents stop their kids from drinking them? I mean, you probably just not buy them.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? And it reminds me of the sort of saying, you know, mother knows best. I think we've always known that giving sugary, sweet soft drinks to our children can't be great, that it is just empty calories. And I have to say, this obesity was conducted in the US, this study on obesity was conducted in the US, and I've travelled there. They drink it in tubs, and they are usually bottomless tubs. So they just keep refilling it. My children, who are used to getting, you know, a small amount on rare occasions when we travelled, thought this was Christmas. They had a big bucket in front of them that was constantly being filled.
Sleep for a week.
That's right, and of course they're going to get buzzed up, and it can't be great, so we need to scale it right back.
It is concerning though, Yvette, isn't it? I mean, I look at shows like, you know, the Honey Boo Boo with the Go-Go juice or whatever it is she has, or they're dipping Mountain Dew into the pacifier to give to the baby. I mean, but I do see kids here like walking around with, you know, a big bottle of Coke, like a litre bottle of Coke, little kids walking around the streets here. We're not far off.
It's tough once they're teens as well, because kids do, you know, crave sugar when they're teenagers, boys and girls, so it's a little bit harder to keep a lid on it. But I think parents can do a lot. If you start bringing up your child using water as their main drink for quenching their thirst, and that's what you have available in the house, even fruit juices are really not that good to have on hand.
That's a strange thing, is because parents go, oh, they're just drinking an apple juice, but actually that's got a lot of sugar in it.
A lot of sugar, not very much fibre. I mean, if you juice it yourself and you put some of the pulp back in, sure, but it's actually a huge sugar hit. So the simplest thing to do is just to give your children water to quench their thirst, water in their drink bottles at school, water when they come home. Soft drinks are, I mean, I feel like I'm stating the obvious, but as Danny said, in the US it's not the obvious. I've stayed with very well-educated people in the US who just have their fridge stocked with soft drinks. And
soda.
Soda. That's the standard drink you offer to children and adults who visit who aren't drinking alcohol. It's almost like water there. So I hope we don't go that far. Look, I just want to give a plug to one. There's a not-for-profit here in New South Wales called the Healthy Kids Association, and they provide heaps of information to parents and schools about this kind of thing. And I really love organisations like that, because they've just got common sense ways of helping parents and schools teach children, you know, the basics, which is drink water when you're thirsty, use soft drink as a treat. It's pretty simple, really, but, you know.
And don't pay $5 for a bottle of water. Just get it from the tap.
Get it from the tap. Tap's fine. Worked for me. I'm from Adelaide. Teeth, I could gnaw through steel with these teeth. Thanks to the fluoride in that water. Let's move on. A male blogger has copped a lot of flack, this guy, after admitting he has a favourite child. He's got more than one child. The dad said he just liked his older son better, and admitted he found it harder to love either of them before they were old enough to do stuff. I mean, that's something that a lot of dads think, particularly if the mother's breastfeeding, it's hard to get an attachment. But some parents won't admit to it. I mean, really, some people favour more than the other, even if they don't want to admit to it. It's subconsciously, deep down, they may just lean towards one child more as their mate.
I like how you're saying this, because you've only got one child and you're sitting there smugly knowing that you cannot give a wrong answer here.
I'm in an ivory tower.
I will admit that when my children were small, very small, I didn't feel as attached to them, actually. I think babies are lovely, but they don't do a lot. So, of course...
You're bored
by the baby
stage.
Little. Once they could interact...
Say something.
Once they could interact, I found the whole thing far more stimulating and rewarding. And now that my children are older, my daughter T is 13 and she's a teenager. Teenagers cop a lot of flack.
You talk about her a lot. Is she your favourite?
No, she's not my favourite. I adore Kai as well. But
Kai, first time you mentioned Kai to me, that's new to me.
They are such interesting children now that they're older. They have their own sense of humour, their own little quirks.
The other, though.
Stop
is what
it.
You're saying.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Which one of your kids is your favourite?
Wouldn't you like me to say which one of Danny's kids is my favourite? That might be easier. No, I seriously, I don't have a favourite child. We have 3 boys.
But don't you think of the problem child? You know, there's always one in the family, the dark sheep or the problem child.
But then maybe they're funny.
But don't you think that's because back in the day, people didn't say, oh, I had a favourite kid?
You know what, I think my kids take turns at being, you know, the worst child, the best child, the easiest child, the most difficult child, being different ages, being different temperaments. They take turns. And there are times on any given day where I'm finding easier to parent one than the other, of course, and I'm sure there are times when they find me an easier parent than their father, but I just...
What are your kids' names again?
I'm not saying.
But you favour the
Because
boy
you'll
more than
hold
the
it
girl.
against me next time I come
No, but
on.
you favour the boy more than the girl. That's what I
They're
heard you
all
say.
boys. They're all boys.
They're all boys?
It's
Okay.
So I do favour the boys.
Okay, all right, you got me there.
It's very hard for my son Kai, I will admit, because I do write books on parenting girls and I work with girls.
Yeah, you talk about girls a lot.
He sometimes says to me, Mum, you know, what about me? And I say, sweetheart, you know,
I don't love you enough.
No, I don't say that. I say, I adore parenting you, but I don't think it's my place to tell boys how to be young men. So I do choose to work with girls, but as I always say, I have
think
a son
mothers can
at
raise
home.
boys fine. I think you put yourself down. Ladies, thank you so much.
You are so evil, David Campbell.
Kai, your mum loves you very much. Coming up is...